Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday. Of course, let's head across to our friends over in Adelaide. Of course, we're heading to one of our favourite NPL women's teams over there. And of course, that is Adelaide City. Of course, they're currently in pre-season for the 2025 season. Of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, I'll get the three of you to introduce yourselves and tell us, obviously, what position you normally be playing on the field once the season gets underway.
Thanks for having us. My name is Valeria. I'll be playing in the midfield, probably a 10 role in the coming season, which is a pretty normal position for me. So, yeah, very excited.
I'm Bianca, but everyone calls me B. I play in the defence line, so either fullback or this year something new for me as a centre back.
And I'm Alice, and I also play in defence as a centre back.
How's the pre-season been like heading towards or preparing for the 2025 season, which I think starts in March?
First game, I think, is the 7th of March. They just released the first round. So, yeah, so far it's been hard. Lots of running, and this time of year, obviously the weather's a bit hotter than what we play in during the season. So, yeah, but it's good. It's good to be back with everyone as a group and new players coming in and stuff, getting, that meeting people, new people, getting with people we've been playing with for a while.
You mentioned about, got some new people coming in as well. Changes at all from last season?
Well, I guess the biggest one is we got a new coach this year. So with the new coach, obviously comes a lot of changes, whether that's other coaching staff, styles of play, how we want to play, the players they get in. So yeah, we've got a new set of coaches, a couple of existing ones, and quite a few players that have come in from either other clubs or stepping up from our junior areas.
Now, you mentioned that the fixture has been released, and your first game is against Uni on the 7th of March. Are you sort of kind of preparing for them already, or is that still like a fair way off? I know it's still 3 months away, but are you kind of now knowing that who your opponent will be in the first week? Are you kind of preparing for them already?
I mean, it's pretty early in the season, so we're not. I don't think we're sort of quite yet thinking about specific teams. We're just trying to focus on what we want to do, setting the foundations and getting all the basics right. Yeah, then closer to the season, we'll probably start thinking about our opponents a little bit more. But for now, we're just focusing on our thing and getting fit, getting strong, and getting ready to get into the Pre-Season Cup first, which will be exciting. Seeing some of the new young players stepping up before we move into the season.
What did you learn from last season, heading to, I guess, going into 2025, and now the motivation to go a couple of steps further?
Yeah, I think it was, for me and the first season at City where we haven't made finals, 9 years at the club. So yeah, it was pretty disappointing to not make finals last year. And I think everyone's really, itching to get back out there and make sure we can turn it around next year. Push for finals and push for trophies. So yeah, I think that's definitely in the back of everyone's mind and a motivating factor.
What's about your new coaches there at City?
Well, Lewis has been at the club for a number of years. He actually, when he first came to the club, was an assistant of Paul Pezos, then took over coaching the under-18s and reserves for the men, made them quite successful, won a few trophies. And I guess the biggest thing is developing some of the young first team games. So he's, I guess, bringing that mentality over to the women's side, which is, let's develop a lot of our younger players, but then let's also go and win some trophies as well.
For the 3 year in particular, we're going to talk about your football journeys now. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Well, for me, I think I started playing since since as long as I can remember. Growing up in Mexico, I was always, it's a big football nation, so I was always playing with my brothers and with my brother and my cousins, and at school, it was always sort of part of my life. So then coming here, Adelaide City was my first club. In I think under 15s, played a few games. Yeah, sort of stayed at City through under 17s and then in the senior setup. Yeah, I've always loved the club. Spent a few years away, but it's always due to come back. So it's been nice to be back here. Yeah, wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
For me, I didn't actually start playing until I was like 11 or 12. I was trying to find a sport to play in the winter to keep fit because I used to do track and field. And a couple of the boys at school said, why don't you come out and play? And I've kind of been hooked ever since. So I actually only did a couple of years of juniors. And then when I was around 15, I started playing senior football and haven't looked back. Macca and I came to Adelaide City 9 years ago. And yeah, it's been a pretty incredible journey. We've won a lot of trophies, built a really good team and vibe, and yeah, hopefully we can get back to winning again.
And I was just playing soccer at school, really enjoyed it. So then, my parents got me involved at Sturt Marion. So I played there for a number of years, and then, been at City for the last 9, which has been great.
So, you mentioned about the premierships that you've won already. So, I'm going to ask this for the three of you. Out of the premierships that you've won, which one means a little bit more than the others?
2019.
I wasn't here in 2019, not at City. So
2019 is probably was one of the best for me, because that year we won the treble. We were the first club to do that, and that grand final actually went into overtime, and we scored the winning goal with 2 minutes to go in extra time. Like everyone was preparing for penalties when we scored, so there was definitely a big party afterwards.
Massive memorable game.
Yeah.
I think everyone remembers the Georgia Campagnoli goal, back heel.
And the fact it was at Hindmarsh or Cooper's or whatever it's called now, it was a pretty good atmosphere.
Yeah, well, I think for me, probably 2017, which was the first year with Pez. Everything changed a lot that year. Everything sort of stepped up, and it was a pretty special year just to get back to winning ways, having been at the club for a few years before then, where we sort of struggled for a couple of years. It was nice to get back to those winning ways, and win a trophy or two.
All three you mentioned right at the start what position you play on the field, or going to be playing on the field in 2025. If you had a dream position, would you like to convince your coaches to put you, whether that be? Here's your chance now.
I think I love 6. I'd love to spend a bit of time in 6. Put a few long balls in. I feel like I'm a bit too high up in 10 to do that, but it'd be nice to sit a bit further back and just think a few over.
Maybe a winger. That was what I was when I was a junior. Now I'm getting older, they keep pushing me further back. I'm going to be the goal. No, I reckon a winger. Just getting those crosses in and
good actually. I'll do a great carry and
don't know if I could dive and get back up again.
I'm not good enough. So if things are different, I would probably like to be a 10, I reckon.
10 this year.
I know.
You can swap for one.
Also, what have the three of you learnt from each other on and off the field?
That's a good one.
I think for me, I've learned a lot of leadership from you two. I've always sort of looked up to both of you as leaders, on and off the pitch, the way you carry yourselves, and I think it's just the behaviours and how you carry yourselves. I've always sort of looked up to that from both of you.
I think from both of these girls, they're strong people and they care about the people around. So, and I think that's really important in a team sport, that when you're having a bad day or you're having a bad game or whatever, having people like this around who are going to pick you up and have got your back no matter what and support you, like it's great to see, and it's the type of people that I want to be like.
I think I can get a little bit hot-headed at times and competitive, but both B and Baz are very level-headed, think through things, can talk some sense into certain situations. So I value their, I guess, opinion and leadership from that point of view.
So what does the sport of the world game mean to the three of you, especially playing for Adelaide City?
Well, I think I guess with Adelaide City, it doesn't matter where you are in Australia, everyone's heard of Adelaide City, you know, when the NSL was around, they were one of the biggest clubs. They won a lot of championships. So they kind of set that tone of what the club was and what it represents early on. So to be a part of the club is an honour. Then I guess especially for women's side of things, since the World Cup was here in Australia a couple of years ago, it's great to see that people are actually caring about the women's game and realising, you know, we can play well. It is good games to go and watch and it's worth investing in. So I think that's been really important the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. It's been cool to see the change, I think, in football in Australia, even over the last 12, 18 months. I feel like I've noticed a difference in people's interest in it. So I think it's getting the recognition it deserves. And yeah, of course, Adelaide City is such a big club, such a rich, it's great to represent the club.
I think it's cool also, I'm sure you feel the same, but like throughout careers, here in the WNPL, even like throughout the last, 10, 15 years, there's been so much change, even in just the women's game, and how clubs invest in their women's programs now and the facilities, and we went from sort of basically a Sunday league in the paddocks to now it's it's still got a long way to go, but it's grown heaps and it's improving every year. So it's really good to keep seeing the positive change. And it's good to see City doing their part as well in it, and trying to do their best in, growing the game as well, and wanting to always be the best in both men and women. So yeah, it's good to be part of it.
Any future ambitions in the sport? Considering that all three have achieved many achievements already.
Sure, our bodies can take more than.
I think mine is to make it to retirement in one piece. I think that's mine.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've always loved playing at this level. I think it's still challenging. It's exciting, but it's still, allows me to have a balance with other things. So I think my ambition for me is just to give as much as I can to the club and to this league while I can, and then beyond that, off the pitch as well. But in terms of playing, I'm just happy to give it the rest that I've got for the time that I can.
Yeah, and I think all three of us supporting the younger players come through and trying to help them with things on and off the field, for them to progress.
And a few more trophies before we retire.
Now, what would be your advice to people that should get involved in the World Game, especially heading down to Adelaide City?
Just do it.
I think it's a great club with people who care and want to be here, and you look at all the volunteers we have in the club and people who are giving up their time to be here. If you're looking for a club or you want to come and watch a game or you want to get involved, it's a great place because the people here are amazing.
Finish with some light-hearted questions as well, but before I do that, now obviously for the three, you've played in the competition for a while now. So I'm going to ask, which opponent throughout the years that you love to beat the most? It's a bit more sweeter than the others when you get a win.
I got too many.
Yeah.
Changes over the years.
Probably West Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah. The
West
biggest
Adelaide
opponent's the team to beat at the moment, so it's
Yeah.
always good to.
And Metro, I think, historically.
Yeah, that's always a big game.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Yeah, I know about
We
singing.
have to wait till the new
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
songs on Friday. The comedian. Oh,
I think Yaz is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yasmina, this
comedian Kasimovic.
Kasimovic.
Dancer.
Best dancer.
Merv.
Yeah.
Merv.
Yeah.
Best singer.
Ooh.
I don't know about best, but maybe like a Kate.
Yeah. She thinks she should be on Pitch Perfect, so.
Three singers love, maybe.
Can include this as for last season as well. But who had the most embarrassing moment on the field either last season or already in the preseason? And what was it?
I don't know about embarrassing, but Grace has some pretty funny moments.
Yeah.
Um,
Did Daft do a swing and a miss? Real bad?
Probably.
oh,
There's nothing that really stands out as like memorable, but there was, I think every session there was something where you just were on the ground laughing because of something someone said or something they did. Like, yeah, we had a good group and we got a good group this year. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of laughs.
So, do either of you?
Polo.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, we'll give that one to Gaz. Yeah, it was a pretty memorable moment where she wore her polo under her playing shirt.
She wore that shirt on without realizing.
Yeah.
So she had like a long sleeve, her polo, her jumper, and then
training
top, and then she put a strip on and went and played half a game before she realized.
So I've got so many questions to ask. So I'm
Yeah.
going to ask it. So the first one is, was it cold that night when you played, when she was wearing this? And then the second one, did anyone else pick it up and not say that to her?
No, because it just looked like she was wearing a long sleeve. So it was cold, but
Not cold enough.
not cold enough for that many layers. Yes, but probably not for that many layers.
Now I have to ask as well, do either of you have a pre-game superstition, ritual, or routine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. I have to brush my teeth like right before we play.
I wear braids and I have a banana.
I think mine's more just the same routine every day. So I always sort of eat the same meal at the same time before the game, and then kind of have my little routine of rolling, doing sort of prehab stuff, all in like a certain order, have a snack. Yeah.
What was the pre-game hype song or pre-game tune to hype the team up before a game last season?
Every time we touch.
Every time we touch, and then it turned into tea.
Yeah, at the end of
The
the season. Yeah.
That was pretty good. I don't know why it'll be next season.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Okay, and then the second part of that question is, who was the responsible one for the speakers, and is that particular place still on your team this current season?
Yes. So Abby, our goalkeeper, is in charge of bringing the speaker, but then it would change between two people of who played the playlist.
Nora Pete was I think most of the time last year. I thought she did a great job.
Yeah. We'll have to get her to make our playlist for this year.
Yeah.
Describe the team in a couple of words this year, like the one you're training with now.
Young. Determined.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. Young and determined.
And motivated, I reckon.
Yeah, that's three.
Sorry. Too many.
I agree. Young and hungry. Yeah.
Well, all three. It is so awesome there into, as I said, one of my favorite NPL women's teams over there, and can't wait to come over there next season and actually get to watch his play. Every time I keep coming over there, it's like bad timing when you're up. So hopefully I'll come over there and obviously best of luck for that first game, which is at Gyps Cross against Adelaide Uni in almost 3 months' time.
Yeah,
close.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No worries. And of course, if you want to get down there and support Adelaide City, of course, starting with match week 1, of course, 7th of March, which is the first of a doubleheader there at the Service FM Stadium in Gyps Cross. There's more on the Smashboard show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.